How many scandals have been around Kyrie Irving over the past few years? At first, he didn't like his position in Cleveland, and then he negatively influenced the young Celtics players. He made loud statements, for example. "Yes, I like it here in Boston. I'm going to re-sign this off-season." And then he left for the Nets. Uncle Drew's outrage was just off the scale. Then he disappeared and missed the team's games for personal reasons. Then he grossly violated the protocols of protection against coronavirus at some parties. Then defiantly stepped on the eye of the Leprechaun Celtics. We have heard enough about Kyrie, even considering that throughout the year he refused to talk to journalists. Still, when the point guard came out on the court, he showed an incredible level. After that, it becomes clear why this guy is being paid $136.5 million in the long run. Hello, Pencil Sports, and in today's video, I'll show you exactly why Kyrie Irving is being signed up for such a lot of money, with the help of concrete examples. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like it. Let's go. Dragging a team alone is one of the main abilities that a basketball player should have. The killer mentality is a must for a player like Kyrie Irving, and he's fine with that. The point guard has repeatedly proved that he is capable of winning matches for the team in one person. An example is the meeting with the Chicago Bulls. Kyrie just took out the whole ending on his shoulders. Irving started the whole thing at the end of the second quarter, and in the final 12 minutes, he finally put an end to this confrontation. If I remembered about the opportunity to pull out a victory in a difficult ending myself, I just have to insert that very three-point Irving in the legendary final of 2016. That's when this guy established himself as one of the top 5 basketball players on the planet, and also confidently earned himself a new big contract. At that time, everyone already understood that paying this point guard something like $17 million a year was just robbery. Irving deserved at least 25. One of the main trump cards up Irving's sleeve is his dribbling. Kyrie picked up the ball in his earliest years and has not parted with it to this day. During all this time, the player has developed this skill so much that most fans of planet Earth have no doubt who is the best ball handler in history. For example, at this moment, Irving single-handedly dealt with the entire Milwaukee defense and successfully completed the attack. Or in this episode, Irving decided to carry out an attack without any outside help, but he did not succeed very well at first. The point guard even lost the ball at one point, but then he was able to rehabilitate himself. He circled Lopez on the dribble and dealt with the young Lonzo, neatly completing the attack. Or just take a look at how Kyrie dealt with the Minnesota Timberwolves player. He made this guy slide on the parquet as if on ice. Well, the second one had to get out because Irving turned him 180 degrees. While the poor guy was finding his place on the floor and in general in basketball, Kyrie filled up the most powerful three-piece. In addition to confidence in the end of games, a good player must have character. Kyrie has always had this. To prove this to you, I will go back a good dozen years ago. Then 25-year-old Irving decided to call Kobe Bryant one-on-one at the training camp of the American national team. It was kind of crazy. What the Black Mamba was talking about, by the way. The Lakers legend said that if Irving's father found out about this, he would call his son crazy. And then I would go to make a transfer for $50,000, which Kyrie wanted to bet on. The money would go to charity, but that's not the point. Then Cleveland's quarterback started saying that Kobe couldn't shut him down. Well, then they clogged up for a match a year later. As you understand, Kobe did not delay the duel and showed young Irving how to treat adults. On December 11, 2012, Kyrie threw 28 points and 11 rebounds into the Lakers basket, but Kobe Bryant is Kobe Bryant. He scored him 42 points. You can especially observe the audacity of Irving in this episode. Look how he climbed the legend of Los Angeles, but 34-year-old Kobe did not leave this insolence unnoticed. See for yourself. But then the Cleveland player should be respected for his character. Well, Kyrie wouldn't be getting $33 million now if he couldn't come up with something cool in an instant. Here you can show his movie from one all-star match, which he tried on Giannis Antetokounmpo. The guy thought of making a fake transfer behind his back, which, in principle, no one in the National Basketball Association had done before him. Or for example, here Kyrie repeated the same double step back James Harden against James Harden himself in one of the attacks. The attack was successful, only now Irving stepped on the three-point line and it was only a distant 2 points. For example, Irving is now being paid $30 million a year for the beauty that he learned to perform a few years ago. Now I'm talking about his reverses and layups. Irving made one of these shots from the other side of the ring in a game against Washington in a quick breakaway. Also, such completions became known as around the world because the defender performed them so gracefully. When this capricious defender enters the court, no one can stop him. The game against the Los Angeles Clippers was a great example of that. It was one of the first and generally the only games when 3 Brooklyn stars played together, but that didn't stop Kyrie from dragging the team to victory. In that meeting, Irving scored 39 points and scored 6 shots from beyond the arc. Neither Kawhi nor George nor the big players in the paint at the Clippers' ring could stop him. As a result, the Nets, not without difficulty, but they took that victory for themselves. It would seem that nothing can surprise basketball fans anymore. But then Uncle Drew jumped over his head and did it in a game against Oklahoma City. The player received the ball running out from under the barrier, after which he was fouled when he threw a three-pointer. Irving scored this long shot and then went to the penalty line. Everyone thought, wow, now he's going to throw the ball. But everything is not so simple. Kyrie missed the penalty, but the ball hit the far bow and returned to the point guard, after which Irving scored 2 more points from under the ring. Would you like to get 40 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, and 5 long shots from your opponent for Christmas? That's what the Philadelphia players really didn't want. But Irving didn't care about that. Kyrie just destroyed the defenders that night, and in the last 2 minutes, he completely buried them. What was the cost of De Gear a minute and a half before the end of the quarter from the defender who had already accurately determined the winner of the meeting? Or in this episode, Irving scored 5 points in 5 seconds of live time. First, the 11th number scored a layup in a quick breakaway, and then he intercepted the ball at the end of the quarter. After leaving for a big break, slamming the door loudly in the form of a quick three-point. Irving signed his second contract shortly before the new collective agreement of players and club owners was concluded, according to which new figures on the salary ceiling were set. But after leaving the Celtics and coming to Brooklyn, Kyrie got his own in the form of a contract for $136.5 million for 4 years. Apparently, such an amount turned the player's head that in the first match, he went crazy. In his debut, the point guard scored 50 points. He gave his all on the court, but lost only 1 point in the end. Despite the defeat, it was an incredible performance with a number of incredible moments. Well, that's all I have for today. Write in the comments, what is your favorite moment with Kyrie Irving? Like this video and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of these videos. Well, Pencil Sports was with you. Bye, everyone.